James Crichton-Smith there. Now, a campaign has started to save one of the country's most historic passenger ships. The Balmoral was a regular along the Welsh coast, offering day trips to North Devon, but she hasn't sailed since last year.
More than 2 million passengers have been on board since it became a passenger ship 27 years ago, but now the charity that owns it says it needs to raise £350,000 to secure its future. Patrick Russell reports.
Tied up in a dock in Bristol, the Balmoral hasn't sailed for a year and will not move until £350,000 has been raised in order to carry out essential maintenance and safety checks.
At least £250,000 will be needed for her annual dry docking, which unfortunately is coming up to a 5-year survey, which is that little bit more intensive and is that little bit more expensive. And who knows just what that might discover that needs doing. And so we're putting a contingency figure of another 100,000. So 350,000 will guarantee that the ship will be out sailing again next summer.
Pleasure steamers like the Balmoral and the Waverley have been a familiar sight around the Welsh coastline for many years, with a rich history of short cruises around Wales and day trips to North Devon. They are the sole survivors from a thriving tourist industry, dating back to Victorian times, when paddle steamers were filled with thousands of passengers across the summer season.
I think if the Balmoral came back, it wouldn't only be a good thing for Penarth, but the whole of the Bristol Channel. The vessel would be going into Mumbles, Porthcawl, Ilfracombe, Lundy Island, Clevedon. It was so dependable, had wonderful seagoing qualities and gave pleasure to thousands of people on both sides of the channel.
Balmoral and the Waverley are now run by a charity that's committed to keeping both these historic ships sailing. Enthusiasts hope that with enough support, the Balmoral, which was such a familiar sight up and down this coastline in the past, will remain a familiar sight in the future. Patrick Russell, ITV News, Penarth.